Yeah. Oh no. Flood. Catch a vibe right quick one time. Mic check 1 2 1 2. A mic check 1 2 1 2. A 2 2 2. Successful transfers. It is almighty information from me to you. A mic check 1 2 1 2. Yeah, mic check 1 2 1 2. A 2 2 2. It's way less about what you say and more about what you do. Oh, oh no. Yeah. Whew. I know you think that was liquor, nigga. Nah. I'm off the apple cider and the pure cranberry dilated by the H2O, you feel me? It was like a teaspoon of apple cider, a teaspoon of concentrated cranberry, cranberry concentrated, and then a splash of H2O to dilute it up, you feel me? You take that, you have energy, feel me? It's like voila. So that's my remedy usually if I'm not sipping coffee and I want to kick a show off and I want to get the game flowing. And I'm actually sipping lemon zinger tea tonight, man. Shout out to Celestial. That's a hell of a brand because they got the lemon zinger. You feel me? Oh yeah. And you already know that today's show is brought to you by Treeway Winter Wear Collection, man. Make sure you go browse the drip. You can cop the drip. You can do what you want to. You feel me? It's your world. I'm just living in it. And I'm offering value and products. That's all I'm doing. You dig? Speaking of products, you should also just go download the free ebook, man. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like me, I don't really care about getting your money, but if you want a physical copy of the Pretty Much Understanding my booklet that I just released, then feel free to go down to the link that'll be in the description and order the physical copy, man, just to say that you got the physical copy. But like I said, you can also go to the official website link that's also in the description and download the ebook, man. The free ebook take you 10 seconds. It's the same information. As a matter of fact, the ebook is even more beautiful because it has pictures within the pages. You feel me? Within each page, each jewel is different pictures that match the jewel name. It's good shit, man. Make sure you go fuck with the Pretty Much Understanding, you dig? Anyway, this lovely evening, man, I wanted to get on here and talk about something that I feel like is pretty important when it comes to change. And it's the simple fact that, hey, on some real shit, a lot of us, we want to change, you feel me? We feel like we want to change, but do we really want to change, though? What I mean by that, do we really want to change? See, one thing about change, you got to understand that everybody wants it, right? Quote unquote, everybody wants it. But when we talk about wanting, don't people who want shit, don't they usually be doing shit to get what they want? You know what I'm saying? They have actions that are in place and it's moving them towards what they want. So therefore, the people who say that they want change, and they don't actually really want change. They just like the idea of change. They like the idea of change. They like to talk about it and say that they're going to do this one day and do that one day and do this one day. But in reality, guess what? They're really just addicted to talking about it. They're addicted to being inspired. But that's it. It's nothing more than just inspiration and motivation. But with somebody who truly wants something, you want to know something about them? Yo, they're moving in that direction like a fearless lunatic. And I hate it for anything or anybody that try to get in their way. You see what I'm saying? So it's a difference there. Now you may be also still wondering, why is it so hard to change, Dolo? And then I would tell you this. I would say the reason it's so hard to change because it's you versus you. Your own mind is the enemy. Your own programming and thoughts is what's beating you down and keeping you in a loop and keeping you in a box. You have to break out of the norm. You have to break out of the mundane. You have to break out of what seems to be comfortable. And when you start asking your questions, when you look in the mirror and you asking the questions of who am I and where am I going? What do I want? See what I'm saying? And you know what's interesting? Most of us be knowing what we want. Most of us, I'ma be real, be like right there on the brink of change. But you have to keep in mind, when you right there on the brink of change, it's still you versus you. Right? You can say to yourself, when you walk into a beautiful coffee shop and establishment, you see a beautiful young lady over there with a really nice dress on. And she's really enjoying the moment. You can tell she's enjoying her coffee. And you make eye contact with her. She looks dead at you, right? You would quote unquote want to go over there and talk to her. But if we remove the quotations, the air quotes, and we say that you truly wanted to go over there and talk to her, guess what? As soon as you saw her, you was already on the way over there anyway. Before she even looked at you and saw you, you was already on the way over there anyway. I can't help myself. I want it that much. Let me say it again. I can't help myself. I want it that much. I'm willing to jump. I'm willing to do whatever. I can't help myself. I want it that fucking bad. So whatever is in the way that needs to be moved or needs to be confronted or needs to be dealt with, right? Any quote unquote problem that needs to be solved, give me the job. I'm on the job. Guess what? Because I'm serious about what I want. I want it so bad I can't help myself. So guess what? When it comes to the point where you're wanting change, you know that you want to make this jump, right? You have to remember that the mind is the enemy and the mind is going to talk you out of it. At least it's going to try. The mind is very clever. The mind has been telling you the same story for years. It's going to make sense to you. Listen to me. When the mind starts telling you excuses on why you shouldn't change, why you shouldn't take a risk, why you shouldn't go into the unknown, even though it's scary as fuck, you just still go into it because you like, fuck fear. You don't care about fear. You want what you want. You can't help yourself. You want it so bad that you can't help yourself. When you move like that, fear is non-existent. Fear doesn't exist. What's fear? What's that? See what I'm saying? When you move like that, it's very impactful. It drains out fear. So when I made the jump, for example, and moved 1,000 miles away, I was scared as shit to move that far away. I was scared as shit to get into a whole nother state and not know what I wanted to do, not have a job, not have a place to stay. But I knew at the same time, all of these things that was popping up were just excuses that I could cling on to justify me not taking a risk. So When I say no justifications, I allowed no justifications. I don't give a damn. So what if I get there and I won't have a job at first? So what if I get there and I don't have a place to live at first? So what? I want it so bad I can't help myself. Because guess what? I know, and I talked about this in the previous video. I think the video dropped day before yesterday, something like that. I be dropping so much shit. But anyway, I was talking about how when every time you go into a certain mind state, you'll be thinking like, wow, I know better. But really though, why am I here? I can tell you why. Because the programming is what's running the show. The subconscious mind is what's running the show. So when you reach out and you tap in with somebody and you like, yo, I want to come there. You asking questions. You're on the brink of change. You're curious enough to ask questions, to be curious about moving. Do it. Fuck it. Do it. Why? Because what's the worst thing can happen? You have nothing to lose. Seriously, I didn't give a fuck. When I made that jump, I didn't give a fuck. So what? I'll learn something. So what? At the point that I was at in my life, man, I had shit to lose. I ain't have nothing to lose, man. You feel me? It couldn't get no worse than what it was, Jack. You feel me? I locked in. I said, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Let's face it. Because time gonna pass anyway. Let's face this fear and see what happens. And that's one of the most freeing, liberating decisions that I've ever made, because it freed me. But you have to face fear though, in order to get on the other side where it's beautiful. The program is going to continue to try to yank you back into that mindset of, I can't. It's no use. It won't work out. You're like, but I know I can do it. Listen. Your mind will talk you clean, smooth out of that shit. And it'll make sense. It'll be justifiable. That's why I said I allowed no justifications. So what if I almost listen? Man, I drove 20 hours across the country. I got in, I think, Missouri. That's where I was. I was almost out of gas. Shout out to Josie. Josie Fina, man. Shout out to Josie. I hit up Josie. I was like, yo, I'm almost out of gas, but I'm on the way there. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the way there, but I'm almost out of gas. And Josie shot me some bread. You know what I'm saying? And I made it into the state that I was going to smoothly. But up until that point, I had no idea how I was going to figure that out. I low-key knew I didn't have enough gas money to make it all the way. I low-key knew that. But I was just riding with faith. I was like, fuck it, man. Fuck it. What's the worst thing can happen? Bro, I could just ask somebody to, like, fill my tank up and then I'm moving across the country. So what? Allow no justifications. So what if, man, listen, I've slept in my car. I've drove vehicles that didn't have heat in them in negative degree weather, bro. I'm in the Midwest. I've had vehicles that didn't even have heat in them motherfuckers, man. It's so many avenues and paths that I had to travel and discover and explore for myself. I had to fuck it up real bad in order to fuck it up real good. You feel me? And I knew that I could do bad all by myself, and I did. I did the worst. I fucked it all the way up, all by myself. Everybody that came in and out of my life, if you think that you hurt me, listen to me. Let that shit go, because I am fine. I've been so over that shit. You feel me? I'm light as a feather from that shit. I'm sending you love. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hurt me. You taught me. I learned from you. And I applied that shit and leveled myself up. You feel me? So when I took a L, it wasn't always a loss. Sometimes it was lessons. And I was smart enough to use that. You feel me? But when I came to the point where I wanted to jump, I had already understood that my mind was telling me this shit all the time. No, you can't do it. Nope, you can't do it. Don't even think about it. I know what you're about to think about, Jamarcus. And guess what? You're not going to be able to do it. You're going to get there and it's going to be scary and you're going to be broke and you're going to be homeless and it's going to be painful and you're going to struggle. You're going to cry. It's going to hurt. Don't do it. That's your mind. That's your program. That's fear talking to you, working against you. It's you versus you. Once you beat your mind, you beat everything else. It has nothing to do with nobody else. It has everything to do with you and your mind and what you're willing to face. Stop being a victim. Stop wanting people to come comfort you and coddle you. Man the fuck up or grow the fuck up. If I'm talking to adults, grow the fuck up and face life. Face it. Because we're here. And we're going to be here for a really, really long time. Generally speaking, we're going to be here for a long time. And there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing no one can do about it but try to unalive yourself. And even in that is fear. It's scary and that is fear. You feel me? So we might as well face the good fear and go after our dreams with everything in us. So that way when we're laying on that bed, like Denzel say, I think Denzel used that analogy. Steve Harvey, somebody, about the ghost. Was it Les Brown? I think it was Les Brown. He said you're on a deathbed and it's ghosts around you of people that you were supposed to meet, books that you were supposed to write, companies that you were supposed to build, risks that you were supposed to take, trips that you were supposed to take. All this stuff that you wanted to do with your life, and now you're old and you're on your deathbed. How would you feel? So the thing is, right now in this moment, the most powerful thing you can do is make a committed decision. And one thing about a committed decision, once you make it, it's no turning back. It's no turning back. That's when you become in good practice of keeping your word, being about your word. That way when you say something, you do it. That drives success, because you know if you say something to somebody and you surrounded by people who hold you accountable just as much as you hold yourself accountable, you'll only grow. Keep growing, keep learning, take risk, and fuck fear. I'm out. Peace.